Yeah, Beric versus Joseph.
Are you gonna get in the ring?
Yeah, Beric and I are gonna start fighting. Oh, yeah, it seems like this is good. Kind of a choppiness here. Okay, so so towards the end of last semester, a number of you contacted me because the grading, the assignment grading, was lower than you had expected. So what I did during the break between the two semesters, is I created my own set of test cases for each of the assignments, and I ran them. So any student that had contacted me asking, "Hey, can you recheck my scores?" I said, "You know what? Let me take what the score he gave them, and then I will run my own test cases, and I'll see what the difference is." Because when I talked to Beric about it, one of the things I found that he was actually doing quite a bit more to help you guys than probably I would have even been doing. Say, for example, if a method name was not spelled correctly, so let's say two letters were opposite, or if a letter in a method name should have been lowercase, but you had made it uppercase. His script to test your code was actually taking that into account. Was saying, oh, maybe they meant a lowercase g instead of an uppercase g for this, and so that's more than I probably would have done. One of the things that he said was that contributed to why it took him longer to grade your assignments than maybe you would have wanted him to get them done more quickly. So we kind of said, okay, well, he could be done with them more quickly, but your scores would probably be quite a bit lower. So why am I bringing all this up? I wanted you guys to see what the scores would look like if I had been the one grading them versus Beric. Okay, and just so you know, most likely what would happen is that if someone were to write me and say, "Can you recheck my assignment? I think I deserve more points," I will probably run it against my test cases. So this might be the outcome that you would see. All right, so let's take a look. Okay, so assignment 1. All right. So as you can see, except for student A, everyone else would have received a lower score if I had been the one grading it compared to what Beric gave for assignment 1. Now, according to that first student there, like my giving of 10 points would have been that you at least turned in something, right? And that I think if I remember correctly, the student had at least their header information correctly, like like their name, their what is it called? Something in version, author. Their author tag and their version tag was correct. So I said, I'll at least give 10 points for that. So, so student A would have benefited in assignment 1, but as you'll see in the future assignments, it doesn't quite work out for them on the long haul. All right. Assignment 2. Okay. Now the truth is, my first experience in software development was as a tester, right? Was as a software tester, and so therefore I am going to test it a little. I'm most likely going to test it more thoroughly than Beric would have tested. Okay, so assignment 2 would have everyone would have received lower, in some cases substantially lower scores. Assignment 3, yeah, wow, that last student E, would have really had a hard time passing my tests, but ended up with quite a high score from Beric. Let's see, what about assignment 4? Okay. Now, student D on assignment 4 would have been about the same, but again, no one would have gotten higher if I had been the one testing compared to Beric. Okay. So then if we look at their overall scores, obviously no one would have received a higher assignment score had I been the one testing their assignments compared to Beric. So just food for thought for if you get to the if you get an assignment score back and you're wanting, oh, can you look at this again, Hojum? Because I just don't think Berka's testing them well. You know, and maybe he's not testing them well, but he is his test and his scripts are being a lot more forgiving of this of your assignments than my tests would be, perhaps. So just food for thought. Oh, and one other thing I did want to include. So some of you may be considering using a tool that has become available to us on how to write this code. So for each of those 4 assignments, I asked ChatGPT to write the code for me. And this was the result of this when I took ChatGPT's output and ran it through my test cases. So I don't know if an overall score of 27.5 is something that you would like to get on your assignments, but well, that doesn't seem very high to me, and it doesn't seem like the kind of score that I would want an engineer to get in this class. So just in case that was a thing you were thinking you might want to try, that there you go. All right. So
airplane mechanics.
Let's see.
Lives are at stake.
Let's see. So let's have just a brief discussion. You know what? Actually, it's 4:30 now, and I did say we were probably going to be done by 4:30. I know it's a little bit early because we are going to do this whole 2-hour thing. It looks like we will likely do a 2-hour. You know what? I should not be sharing the screen right now since that's somebody's messages there. Okay, so what we'll do is we will go ahead and we'll just go ahead and end there rather than starting up a new discussion, and we will pick up with objects and classes tomorrow, 1:30. Okay, so we'll meet together at 1:30 tomorrow, and then we will we'll do the objects and classes discussion then. Are there any questions before we leave?
Grace.
Sorry, at home we have children who want to interrupt. Are there any questions?
No, I think.
Okay. Well, if your other class is for some reason meeting at 4:30, then you guys can make it, and otherwise we will see you tomorrow at, as I said, 1:30. Thank you guys for your attention today.
Have a nice day, teacher.
You too.
Thank you, Ojam.